Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday morning meditation. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. Meditation gathers power when we all meditate together. And this week, kironJ is going to lead us in a 20-minute, guided meditation, a lead into the meditation. And then we'll have 20 minutes of silence. And after that, we'll open it up for sharing. And we'll end at 10:45. So I'll put you all on mute now, except for kironJ.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Well, a warm welcome to you all this morning. It's very lovely to be leading meditation today. I'm really enjoying these gatherings. A big thank you to the Miracle Network for hosting them. It's beautiful. So this morning, I thought a focus on the holy instant would be a lovely way to take us into the silence. I'm going to say a few words about the holy instant and then lead us in a guided visualization for the first part of the meditation. And then we'll go into 15 minutes of silence. And I hope you really enjoy it. So the Course says, in the holy instant, the great rays replace the body in awareness, and you experience only the attraction of God. And it also says, thank goodness, we may need to practice the holy instant many, many times before we experience the full extent of it. So we learn to pause within the world and practice this. And that leads us to be able to take our minds way beyond the world. We practice using the bodies lovingly in service of spirit. And also we have to practice letting the awareness of the body go, because our natural state is without bodies. And this is what we're all in preparation for, returning our minds to heaven. And the Course says that the holy instant is a miniature of heaven, sent to us by heaven. So thank goodness we have the might of heaven coming to join us in our willingness to remember the truth. So this morning we're practicing, and I hope you enjoy it. Would you like to close your eyes? And let's first take our attention to our breathing. And then take attention to the space all around us. Becoming aware of the silence and the stillness of space. Opening to a vast, spacious awareness. And keeping this sense of spaciousness, let's take our attention to the presence of our arms, the sensation we know as arms. And let's take that description away. Let it fade. And simply be with this sensation without describing it. And now coming to our legs, let's take our attention to the sensation we know as legs. And let that description fade away. Simply aware of the sensation within the vast spaciousness of our mind. Now coming to our torso, taking out our attention to the sensation we know as the torso of the body. And let the description fade away. So we are left with the pure sensation within the vast spaciousness of our mind. And now to our head. Let's take our attention to the sensation we know as head. And let that description fade away, leaving us with the simple sensation arising in the vast spaciousness of our mind. And now the whole body. Let's be aware of all the sensations we know we're feeling as the body. And simply let that description fade away for now. Leaving us in the vast, silent, still spaciousness of our mind. Any sensations we're aware of, giving them no description. And we're going to rest here together in silence for 15 minutes.
You open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have about 18 minutes for sharing and your comments. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand and I'll take you off of mute. And if you'd like to ask a question or a comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat below and I'll read it out.
Hello.
Hi.
I found that absolutely wonderful. The visualization or the guided part brought me into a whole range of new ideas and concepts I'd never been there before. So the first part of the meditation was dealing with joyriding because I was just so excited and delighted to be in a new in a space that brought me nearer to where I want to go. So I was trying very hard to calm down and be peaceful, and fortunately the meditation was just about long enough for me to actually fall still by the end. But it was wonderful. It was a real experience. So thank you, kironJ.
Oh, thank you, Celia. Thank you for being open to it. Thank you for saying yes to the invitation. Absolutely tremendous. And once we start opening to this sense, it makes all the forgiveness practice, the using the body lovingly in the world, in quotes, so much easier.
Right.
We have a greater sense of what this is all about, and we are more in connection with this help from heaven that's helping us remember heaven.
Right.
So watch this space with you and see how this unfolds.
Thank you.
Anyone? Victoria, I'll take you off of mute.
Hello, it's only a minor point, and I'm sure that this isn't the done thing, but at the beginning of the meditation, I had my cup of coffee here and I just really wanted to finish it. So I did at the beginning of the meditation. And it was a really strange sensation because I really felt that the mug was there and the liquid was there and it was being poured, but there was no body. And it wasn't being spilt, so obviously, but it was just, I've never had that before. It was incredible. It's like the china was there, but it was just going into the space. Anyway, I just thought I'd share.
Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful comment, Victoria. How wonderful. Again, this is opening up our mind to in the direction of the truth. And it shows that just because we seem to be in these bodies, in this world, doesn't mean it's a fixed experience. We really can have a sense of not being in the world, but not of it. This can happen more and more. So celebrating with you that experience, and again, watch this space, see what else might happen now. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Linda, I'll put you off. Yes, take yourself, hold on. Oh, there we go. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
You have to speak louder. It's very dull, very quiet.
That was absolutely wonderful. That's one of the best meditations I've ever had. And I was really away. And then my phone went off, my mobile, and I put it on air mode. And then my adopted grandson came down and said, "There's someone at the door for you." Oh. So I thought, right, just deal with it. So I went and said, I'm on a meditation on Zoom. And she said, oh, okay, are you all right? And I came back and I could get straight back into the meditation. It was absolutely amazing. And I'm thinking, I'm so glad this is recorded, because can we get this back up, this meditation?
Yeah, that's what it's recorded for.
It was, I was with God. That's all there was. Absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much. And I'm really pleased at being able to deal with an interruption. Acceptance, that's what happened. That's it. Accept it. And to go straight back. Thank you so much. That's right.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for that wonderful demonstration of the power of the holy instant. Because once we connect with this more and more, yes, we can deal with the world and then come straight back to a sense of connection. And you've just given this beautiful example. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask a question or say comment. Catherine, I'll take you off of unmute. I'll unmute you. There you go, Catherine.
Yes, thank you so much, Kiran. Is it Kiran or kironJ or?
kironJ.
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 And I felt such spaciousness as soon as you started talking, and I loved, there was a physical spaciousness between your words, but even before the meditation. And so I was really enjoying that. And then obviously my ego was very threatened because the broadband disconnected me. So I was metaphorically disconnected from source, but I came back. So I just want to say thank you very much. And I'm also enjoying, you know, sometimes when we talk about meditation and maybe we're used to the idea of Buddhist meditation, there's this idea that to not get attached to anything is almost to be emotionless. And I'm really enjoying your big smile and your receiving of all the comments. And yeah, I just, joy is source. So it just, yeah. So thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. And I think it's a beautiful thing that you've highlighted there, because a lot of meditation, as it's understood, is not about connecting with our source. It's about calming our mind and not being distracted by the world and many other, you know, such things, which of course is all fantastic. But the Course is asking us to open to our Creator in meditation. And that's where the joy comes. That's where the devotion starts flowing. Because the Course says we are devotional beings. It's just a case of what are we being devoted to at the moment. And in this experience, we can be very devoted to our specialness and our establishments that we've made in the world. These are our devotions. And what the Course is all about is saying, please redirect your devotion to what will love you back. Our idols, this world, will not love us back, no matter how devoted we are to them. Turn our devotion to God, to the truth of each other, and it absolutely flows and it is joyous. So thank you for bringing that.
Thank you. And I love the term devotional being. I don't, it's actually in the Course, is it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Who has a question or a comment? Okay, Terry, I'll take you.
Terry's hand up.
Hi, kironJ.
Hi, Terry.
Yeah, it was lovely. Well done. Thank you. Some of the work I do is with people who abuse drugs. Some of the younger people, particularly, have found a drug called ketamine, where they disassociate with their physical body. And some of them call it the God drug, you know, whereby they get out of body experiences and stuff, and it can become very, very dangerous because they've got no control of the physical body, and they go into what we call the K-hole and become donkey legged and can fall over and bang their head and everything, apart from all other things. So what I tend to do when we can clear people's heads enough is to recognize that all of that stuff is fool's gold. You know, like you've been describing there, it's illusionary. It's not real. You know, and they might call it the God drug because when they're in that space, they reckon that they talk to God, but they can't remember anything. There's no processing. It's not real. Whereas meditation practices are real. You know, they are disciplines that ground us and yet free us at the same time. Like the Zen proverb, the trees that grow tallest into heaven have the strongest roots into earth. So we are embodied as such in the physical world. We're incarnated, and yet we are free spirits. There's kind of a paradox, isn't there, all the time? It's that running paradox with us. And I think what you did today with your visualization kind of helped us to get in contact with that kind of paradox that, yeah, we are the physical body as such, and yet we're not. We are something beyond, in a way that's safe. You know, we don't lose ourselves like we would with drugs. You get instant hits with a drug, whereas with meditation, it's safe, it's steady, it's you know, we are making contact with that which is real and not the fool's gold that, you know, the false idols, as you said, you know, project. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Oh, you're just bringing such beautiful aspects of this, because we have a deep desire to connect with God, to be free of the body, because our natural state is connected with God and free of the body. And we also have this tremendous attraction to individuality and being in a body. So we try and find a way to have that freedom, but keep the specialness. And of course, drugs are a favorite way of doing that because they give us the illusion of that experience. And as you so beautifully say, you know, it's fool's gold. It can't possibly happen. And it does give us all sorts of difficulties because it's doing it with the ego. It's trying to find God with the ego. And what this experience was, and what meditation is all about, is finding God with the Holy Spirit, or whatever we choose to call the link with God. So we are coming to God through the link with God. And that makes all the difference. And then it's quite safe to leave all sense of the body behind because we're in loving hands, loving arms. And then it's even clearer. When we use the body, it's even clearer. And we're more effective and efficient and all these things through being able to leave the body for times with the Holy Spirit. Thank you.
Okay. David, do you want to take yourself off of mute?
kironJ, that was wonderful. I'm unmuted, aren't I? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I really feel that's the first time I've ever truly relaxed in a meditation. And I learned something very basic, really. That because I've been really stressing yesterday and this morning over getting a recording right, and it struck me that that's what the ego wants. It wants me to be stressed, and I thought, oh, because I kept getting it wrong with this recording, and I thought, well, maybe if I relax when I'm doing it, which I've been learning through Eckhart Tolle recently, about doing things that you don't really like doing, like the washing up, and just doing them mindfully and enjoy them. And I thought, blimey, so what will happen? And then I got into the ego telling me again, oh no, you don't want to do that, no. And I loved what you said about what the Course tells us about the false idols, because I do put a lot of people that I admire on pedestals, and forget they're going through lockdown as well, and putting out some lovely stuff that's pretty, a gift to us. And so generally, and I didn't realise it was you doing it until Jane told me, because we've been off the screen quite a bit. Really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, David. That's really wonderful. Again, a beautiful point that the ego will jump on meditation, spiritual practice, the Course, the lot, and will do everything to persuade us we're not doing it right. And it's difficult, and you'll never do it. Other people can do it, you can't do it. All this kind of palaver. See, you've done it wrong again. See, you weren't quiet in meditation. You'll never get this. And it's simply knowing that's the ego voice. And there's no truth in it whatsoever. And we just keep bringing ourselves to that. That's the ego voice. Just a story, no truth in it. I'm a child of God. It's my natural state to be with God. And so I can practice this, I can remember it. So again, I celebrate with you finding that relaxation this morning. And there's no reason why you can't do that again and again and again. You simply watch the shenanigans of the ego that tell you how it ought to be, and choose not to identify with it. You just watch it and come back to the Holy Spirit and truth. Yeah.
Hold on, we have two chats. So Jan, would you like to speak?
Right. I won't, I'm flashing, so I won't put my camera on, because I'm sure that's very uncomfortable for people. kironJ, that was so fabulous. I just think I really, really honour your work. It's just so wonderful, and thank you so much. That was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I just wanted to also sort of comment on what Terry said and what you were saying, and Terry's work with young people who are abusing drugs or said to be abusing drugs. I was just thinking, from my own experience of visiting many mental health wards when they used to have, well, I guess they still have visiting rooms, just how many people in their psychosis are sort of connecting with God. It might present into this worldly view of what we think is normal, that this is all crazy stuff, but it's like they've got this sort of, a sort of direct link. And as Terry said, it's all sort of probably egoic stuff, but I think it does indicate for so many young people this hunger, and when we look at the drug problem, this hunger to connect with something far beyond this world of ours. And I know that's all an illusion, but it's you know, it's great that Terry and other people are doing all this work with these kids and hopefully helping them to find that real connection with God. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Yes, it's coming out loud and clear, isn't it, today? Our hunger, our need, our devotion to God, which we cannot eradicate, no matter how much we try and disguise it, distort it, project it to be these individuals. It will not go away. And all these people, who of course are figures in our dream, they are aspects of the one mind that are desperate to find peace, but still wanting separation at the time that they're doing all these things. It can show us the level of our deep, deep love of God and how it goes wrong when we don't acknowledge it and we try and find substitutes for it. So we can use these pictures, these images, to remind ourselves of our truth, the devastation that seems to occur in our experience when we deny God. And that's our mission. That's our assignment, is to return our minds to God. And that will be the most healing thing we can do for all brothers, the whole sonship. Yeah. And to honor all the brothers that are doing any work on this themselves and with the young people, the people that are in mental institutions as we experience it. Because this is working on our mind. These are shadow figures in our dream. They are representations of our thoughts about separation and its pain and its trauma. And as we work with others, we're really working with our mind. And that's absolutely fabulous. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, everybody take yourself off mute. And thank you so much, kironJ. It's been wonderful. And we have a big thank you from Mel, and I'm sure everyone else as well.
A great big thank you to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank
Have a lovely
you.
week.
Thanks,